You chirp Jimmy Butler. You wake up Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler was nothing in the first half of that game last night. Hardly anything. Misses the game before with the bruise on his tush. Kind of soft. Does nothing in the first half, and then Dylan Brooks gets into him on the free throw block. And the next thing you know, Jimmy Butler goes off for 23 of his game-high 27 in the second half, and the Warriors win again. But that's just a way to get you into some thoughts on the NBA, those series out west. I am hooked. Nuts. I stayed up as late as I possibly could to watch the game, hit record on that Warriors game midway through the fourth. Woke up at like 4 in the morning and said, what the hell, I'll watch the end of it at 4 in the morning, which I did. And I think it's tremendous theater, tremendous drama. This is one of the best first rounds in the NBA I can remember. It's all out west.
Long time.
The stuff out east, please. But 3 of the 4 series out west are box office. Knockdown, drag out, heavyweight fights. Warriors, Rockets, Lakers, Wolves, and Clippers, Nuggets, which is 2-2. But this thing last night, heavyweight fight.
Big time.
First round, heavyweight fight. You don't see it very often. I think this stuff's awesome.
So I would say really across the league, and I know you're focusing on the West, the only series that has been a complete dud is Cleveland. Even the Celtics series, Orlando.
Well, the OKC one was
Memphis.
useless.
Oh, yeah. Jeez, I forgot about that one.
Useless.
Absolutely right. I forgot about Oklahoma City.
It's already over.
That's a runaway. But 6 of the 8 for the NBA in the first round, 6 out of 8 is a grand slam.
I just haven't paid attention to the East because I think there's still nothing there. I really don't.
But the Pistons-Knicks games, again, it's 3-1, and I hear you. My point is they've been competitive.
Yeah.
They've been competitive. The West has way more firepower. Totally. I can't argue there. But they haven't been, the Celtics series has not been a runaway.
Do you have any thoughts, Murray?
Yeah, so just with last night, I felt like this thing was heading towards 2-2 because it felt like sort of officiating that was going Houston's way. Draymond Green was getting technicals. He was getting in dumb foul trouble. Steph Curry was having an off night. And I'm pulling for Houston because I took them before this series stupidly. But, Butler wakes up. They have more guile. They're a tougher team. Buddy Hield had a good night defensively. Now they're going to end up winning this series. Overall, I'm with Mazz. Outside of those 2 series that were sweeps, I've been entertained by this whole first round, including the Celtics series, even though they're going to finish it off tonight, ostensibly. I've been impressed. It's been a rock fight. They've been getting bullied, but they've kind of bullied back. They've showed toughness I didn't know if they had.
So the bully ball, to me, is the lead item across the league.
Yeah, because it's going on throughout the whole NBA.
And again, I'll get to the stupidity that Barkley was talking about, all the nonsense last night. But outside of or on top of the nonsense is a absolute physical knockdown, drag-out war by NBA standards. And I felt the same thing watching the Wolves-Lakers over the weekend, how LeBron James and Anthony Edwards went back and forth. You can see it on a smaller level, a minor league level, what the Magic are trying to do to the Celtics is what's happening out west, but those teams actually have talent. But I look at the way Houston plays, they are relentless, and they have length, and they're physical, and they're tenacious. And the fact that the Warriors stand up to it should scare you. Because that should be the Warriors series. They're so much bigger. Do you notice all the size that the Warriors get? The Warriors give up size to everybody. But the Rockets out there, never mind with Şengün or a guy like Tari Eason or Jabari Smith, they give away so much size. And then Steven Adams comes out there. And
he's a moose, too.
It's not even close, the amount of size that the Warriors give up. And they'll throw out this, who's this bench big that they have? Quentin Post. It's big, stiff. So he comes out just to try and match some of the size, but it's not close. So the Warriors are just trying to match all that Rocket size with Draymond Green, basically. And they do it. They somehow do it. They get beat up on the boards. It's a mismatch on the boards, and what it was at times last night, the Rockets are dominating the boards, and the Warriors hang in there and still beat them at their own game. It's a knockdown, drag-out fight. That was not a finesse game. That wasn't Steph Curry just shooting out of his ass from beyond the line. It was an off night for him, a quiet night for him. They won with, who's that other wing they have with the floppy hair, the Polish name?
Podziemski.
That kid. It's that kid and Jimmy Butler And Draymond Green, his passing, and them just sort of matching the defensive, the tenacious thing, like the way that game is played, it's great. I love it. And it's what the Celtics have waiting for them when they get to the finals. It's either the Rockets come back and they give it to you and they have it. The Warriors, can obviously play this way. They're beating the Rockets at their own game. OKC is how they're built.
That team's scary.
And the Wolves are a bunch of dogs too. And it's like when you get to the finals, and I think you'll get into the finals, because I don't think Cleveland can do that to you. The Knicks, I laugh at. That's 4-5 at the most. The Magic will be done tonight. But when you get to the finals, there's going to be a team that does what the Magic does to you, only tougher, better, and bigger, and they can score. And it's going to be a war when you get to the finals. And I think Udoka knows it. And I think that's why he got into Tatum the other night. And I think that's why the team...
You mean Missoula?
Missoula, I'm sorry. Missoula knows it. That's why Missoula got into Tatum. That's why you're seeing the Celtics sort of match the Magic and go at the Magic and come back at the Magic. That's what you're going to have to do to get all the way through to the championship this year. Because no matter who it is, out west, they're going to be tough, defensive, in your face, and you're not just going to be able to float around on the 3-point line chucking threes. That ain't gonna be the way you win this year.
The road's going to be a lot tougher, period. I mean, just the first round. And again, I'm not telling you Orlando's anything special. But yes, and in the West, they're beating the crap out of each other. So Golden State is scary because they know how to win. They just know how to win. Again, Houston last night missed 12 free throws, I think it was, maybe more, something like that. In a game like that, you miss a dozen free throws to give the game to the Warriors. Like little things like that.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Jimmy Butler at the line?
Yeah, 12 for 12.
12 for 12.
Yeah, and look, in the same respect, Tatum the night before was 14 for 14. You got to make those. This is the time of year you got to make those. They're giving you points.
But, God, that Houston team is tenacious. Oh, they were all into Curry. They did a great job on him.
That's Udoka.
Took him out. So between, again, Green and Jari Eason, and then when Steven Adams goes out there, or Jabari Smith with Udoka's approach, never mind Dylan Brooks, who's like one of the biggest villains, agitators in the game, it's like, oh, my God. And the fact that Golden State stands up to that and fights through that should concern you when you get to the finals.
This is why they paid Draymond Green.
And Jimmy Butler's a good fit because of it,
absolutely.
too.
Yeah, absolutely true.
Okay, now the nonsense. So I'm watching it. I'm gripped by it, but I'm still frustrated by it. The stupidity. Draymond Green is such a dirtbag, and he should have been thrown out of the game in the first half. I don't know if you saw all these plays, but Ernie Smith was talking about it. Ernie Johnson was talking about it. The first one, there's a foul on Steph Curry. Steph Curry throws the two up at Dylan Brooks. Like, yeah, you just got your second. Now Dylan Brooks starts swatting at the ball. Draymond Green goes, it's just a bunch of schoolyard nonsense. Everyone gets teed up. But then later in the half, there was a loose ball where I think it was Eason, if I'm not mistaken, stripped the ball from Draymond Green. Draymond Green grabs his shorts. They go spilling to the ground. And because Draymond Green is such a long-time dirty player, he knows exactly how to be dirty. He goes flopping to the ground, sort of sprays his legs out, and whacks Eason's head into the floor. And they gave him a flagrant but not a technical, and somehow Draymond Green stayed in the game. They should have been thrown out. He wasn't. He gets his fifth foul in the second half, sits out most of the second half, comes back in the fourth quarter, stays in the game, bodies up this not Gershon. Who's the
Şengün?
Şengün. Who? God, where'd they get this guy?
Oh yeah. He was really starting to come on last year.
Şengün was tremendous in this game, but Draymond Green takes the defensive matchup. He bodies up Şengün, stays in the game with 5 fouls, key defensive stand to win the game.
And it was good defense. He put his arm up, didn't touch him. Was in his space without fouling.
But there's just so much nonsense in these games. And every time they're at the podium, and every time they're with the replay, and every time, is it a flagrant one? Is it a flagrant two? Is it a technical?
It just takes forever.
Was there force? Was there initial force with the follow-through? Was there a non-basketball act? Blah, blah, blah. It's like excruciating. Can you just play? It's just brutal. It's such trash. Just play. And they can't. They can't just play. The players are flopping around, flailing around. The refs are at the podium. They try and, adjudicate the thing to the nth degree, circumcising the mosquito, replays, flagrants, God, it's so clunky and trashy. Just effing play. God, I can't take it. And then it's so physical. They're pushing up and down. And then, I can't stand the foul play out at the three-point line. I talked about this yesterday. The flopping on three-point shots, the awarding of 3 free throws when the guy hits the deck, the very minor contact that happens out there, the guy goes down, the foul is called, shooting space, undercutting him, touch of the blah, 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 back to the podium. It's just nonstop. Oh, God. So half of it frustrates the hell out of me. And then in this game, the key call was a little hand check from Dillon Brooks to Jimmy Butler on a missed three-pointer. And it's like these guys are cranking each other in the head. Jimmy Butler at one point put his hands around Dillon Brooks' neck after they were jawing at each other on the block back to the beginning. He puts his hands around his neck. Draymond Green's kicking another guy in the head. Steven Adams on these free throws. You should see the boxing out of Steven Adams on these free throws. It's a pig pile. It's ridiculous. They're allowing all this contact, all this pushing, and Jimmy Butler goes up for a three-pointer, and Dillon Brooks just gives him a quick little hand check on the hip.
Ticky-tack.
Foul, 3 free throws. Of course, after a challenge and a replay and more time out of our lives.
And on that play, Jimmy Butler, if you watch his foot, almost kicks him in the nuts, basically. It wasn't like a blatant kick, but he got his foot up and in there.
There's just so much trash in these games. It's excruciating to me. But be that as it may, so that's just an impression. But just get ready for it. This is how these games are played. But that Jimmy Butler. So Jimmy Butler is on the block with Dillon Brooks, and this shot of them jawing at each other. Do you know what he said? You a bum and a bitch, you weak. That's what he said to him.
Yeah.
Quote, because they stop it, they do the lip reading. You a bum and a bitch, you weak. And Dillon Brooks breaks out laughing. Yeah. Did you see this?
Yeah,
I did not see it. Yeah.
That's great.
Oh my God, it's hysterical. And I in one respect, I love it. But in another respect, it's like you just yap. Like no one, like as Barkley said, no one's really fighting. No one's really getting hurt. It's just sort of yapping, jawing, flailing. Where when I watched the hockey, and I also watched Florida Tampa last night, terrific. Guys are getting lit. Like that, at least there's legit physical contact and guys are legitimately getting hurt. That Ekblad hit that he put on Hagel gave him a forearm right to the throat and sent him out of the game. Like the basketball is kind of like, I call it kind of kids stuff. It's kids table. It is kind of.
Well, relative to that, absolutely.
Relatively, but I watch both. And I'm entertained by both for different reasons. But this Jimmy Butler, you a bum and a bitch. Right to his face.
He's like hosting a roast.
You a bum and a bitch, you weak. Butler was asked about it after the game. Jimmy, if you have that.
You and Dillon got into it. It looked like you guys were having fun. Like took it back to the playground almost, it looked like. What was it like out there? And it looked like you guys were like going back and forth. Did you enjoy that element of the game?
No, we're not having fun. Give me a break for this. I don't like Dillon Brooks, so we're never having fun. I'm a fierce competitor. He's a fierce competitor. But there ain't nothing fun about that.
I don't like Dillon Brooks. Good. It's good stuff.
See, that's what makes Butler, though.
That's what makes Butler. That's what makes Golden State formidable because on the face of it, they want to be finesse and splash bar. That's what we know from them. But these games, especially out west, they're backyard brawls. And they are street fights. As much as the NBA can be. With all the adjacent yapping and trash and rolling around on the ground and flopping and replays, and it's half of it's maddening. But this is how the game is played. And this is how the Celtics, this is what's awaiting the Celtics when they get to the finals. And they better be ready for it. Which, why we said, I think the Magic is a good little tune-up. You're not going to lose it, but they're going to push some of those buttons. And so that's a nice little entree. It's an appetizer. It's an hors d'oeuvre for what's coming your way. And what's coming your way in the finals is a team that's going to play you just as hard, just as cheap, but are better and can score. And in the case of the Warriors have been there. And no matter what comes out of the West, it's going to be a good final. But that's what it's going to be. So get ready for it.
Oh, listen, you're preaching to the choir. I mean, last year was a freaking walk in the park. If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Celtics analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.